All right, guys, welcome back. And we're going to go ahead and continue. We just finished talking about neural networks. So the next part here is called forward propagation. So the process of passing input data through a neural network layer by layer to generate predictions or outputs. So input layer receives the initial data to be processed, and hidden layers transform data through weighted connections and activation functions. And activation, nonlinear functions introduced complexity and learning capacity. Output layer produces the final prediction or classified result. So the training cycle. So basically, if forward pass, loss calculation, back propagation, weighted update, basically runs through this cycle thousands of times, and it depends on resources to finally come up with a conclusion that it's concisive and it's going to be able to give you the output that you're looking for, or the solution to the problem that you're looking for, or the answer to something you're looking for. So the training cycle is an iterative process. Forward pass feeds data through the network, loss calculation measures prediction error, back propagation computes gradient, and weighted propagation adjusts parameters. The cycle repeats thousands of times until the model learns optimal patterns. Very interesting when it just goes through the whole system to figure stuff out. You might have heard this before, NLP. It's not neuro-linguistic programming. It's a little bit different. It's natural language processing, which is what we do speak in as a natural language, but it's how it processes that data on the back end. So natural language processing enables computers to understand, interpret, and generate human language as a meaningful and useful way. So text understanding, extracting meaning from written or spoken language, and language generation creates human-like text responses and context. So translations, converting text between different languages automatically, and applications, things like chatbots, voice assistants, sentiment analysis, text summarizations, and that's basically how that works. How NLP works, again, a little bit more about it. The NLP pipeline transforms raw data into understanding through sequential stages. Tokenization breaks into words, subwords, embedding converts tokens into numerical vectors, processing analyzes patterns and context through neural networks, and finally produces understanding for tasks like translations, sentiment analysis, or questioning and answering. LLMs, large language models. Large language models are massive AI systems with billions of parameters trained on vast amounts of text data and understanding and generate human-like language. So massive scale, billions to trillions of parameters enable complex understanding, and pre-trained learned from enormous text data sets covering diverse topics. Few-shot learning can perform new tasks with minimal examples, and examples are like ChatGPT-4, Claude, Gemini, and there's a lot of them. There's a bunch of them even coming up that you might have heard of, like DeepSeek and Kimi, Menstrual, which I think is a French one. There's a bunch of them, and so this is just, again, what that looks like. These are huge servers that crunch all of this data for us. GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformers. You probably heard like ChatGPT. That's actually a word, GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformers. GPT is a family of large language models that generate human-like text by predicting the next word or a sequence trained on massive amounts of text data. And generative creates the new text by predicting one token at a time. Pre-trained learns language patterns from billions of text examples, and transformer uses self-attention to understand context and relationships, and autoregression generates text sequentially using outputs as inputs, and applications are like chatbots, content creation, code generation, and translation. So those are the main key uses for this. Transformers architecture. Transformers are neural networks architectures that revolutionized NLP by using self-attention mechanisms to process entire sequences simultaneously rather than sequentially. So this is where it gets really interesting, because it's like self-awareness, self-understanding, learning from the past, learning from mistakes. Self-attention weights on importance of different words in relation to each other. Parallel processing, so processes all tokens simultaneously for faster training. And positional encoding maintains word order information in the sequence. And foundation powers GPT, BERT, and most modern language models. Computer vision, CV. Computer vision enables machines to interpret and understand visual information from the world, extracting meaningful insights from images and videos. So image recognition, identifying and classifying objects with images, object detection, locating and labeling multiple objects in a scene, and image segmentation, dividing images into meaningful regions or pixels, and applications, autonomous vehicles, facial recognition, medical imaging, AR, VR, they're all utilizing this. And I've actually seen a lot of this at CES a couple of years ago and seen a lot of the different ways they're actually using it. I can't wait this year or next year to go to the next one to see where they've gone with this. CNN, Convolutional Neural Networking Network. Say that fast. Say that 10 times fast. Convolutional neural networks are specialized deep learning architectures designed to process grid-like data such as images using layers and automatically detect features. So convolutional layers apply filters to detect edges, textures, and patterns, right? So especially with like autonomous vehicles, it needs to know where this vehicle is and how close the person is and what the light is. It red or is it green? Pooling layers reduce dimensions while preserving important features, and feature hierarchies. Early layers detect complex features, deep layers recognize complex objects, and translation invariance recognizes patterns regardless of position and image, and applications, image classifications, object detection, facial recognition, and medical imaging. So you can see again on the graph how that goes in and out, so the input and the output. RNN, recurrent neural networks, are designed to process sequential data by maintaining a hidden state that acts as memory, allowing information to persist across time steps. So sequential processing processes data one step at a time in order. So hidden state memory maintains context from previous input through feedback loops, temporal dependencies, capture relationships across time and sequences, and variance. So LSTM and GRU solve vanishing gradient problems, and applications, time series forecasting, speech recognition, and language modeling. And so you can see there's little cells that it runs through. The recurrent neural networks will run through each of these cells to figure out from its input and its output of visualization and sequential data with memory loops. It's just, again, teaching you how this stuff works. The next one is RAG. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video right here. We'll get into RAG here in just a minute for the time's sake, just so we can break this down into little chunks. I'm going to stop the video here and we'll see you guys on the next one.